Hi guys, welcome to my webinar, 5 Ways to Relocate with Less Stress. This is an online webinar that's going to teach you the essentials of relocation. So my name is Kimberly Bird, and I have relocated to various places more than 10 times. Some of my relocations have been throughout my native state of Pennsylvania, where I've moved to other cities, other towns, in all different regions of the state. My greatest relocations have been to where I moved to other states. Initially, it freaked me out because I didn't know anything about it. I had accepted a great job offer, knew I wanted to relocate, but had no idea on how to start the process. So as I went through asking people and learning some information while not learning other information, I decided to really start to familiarize myself with the process a little better. I share my concerns with people. Some people told me that they had relocated with as much as $25, or should I say as little as $25, while other people had relocated with, other people said that I would need as much as $10,000. I said, $10,000? When you think to yourself, I don't have $10,000, so you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to do this. Well, of course, I started researching myself. But guys, I started to determine what is it that I needed. Their perspectives were their perspectives, but I needed it to work for me because I had this job. I couldn't turn it down. I didn't have $10,000. I had more than $25. So I developed an action plan on my own, of which I'm going to share with you in this webinar. In this webinar, you will learn the tips for the following 5 essentials. How to research important information about your new location, creating a budget that is conducive to your lifestyle and destination, creating a plan that eliminates excessive stuff from your budget. Also, you'll learn how to create a timeline and a checklist for organization and readiness. And finally, you're going to learn how to find the best place to live according to your needs. Did you know that most people relocate due to a new career change? A lot of us do. That was the reason why I relocated. According to the Workforce Mobility Association, Americans spend a total of $12.2 billion on relocating in the United States just because of employment. So guys, we know that this is something that people are constantly experiencing, and just imagine how many people are stressed about it. That's why you're viewing this webinar today. You need to learn more information. I'm glad you came to the right place. So step 1 within your process, guys, you're going to research your new location. You're going to learn about such features such as cost of living, your state laws, safety, weather, culture, entertainment, and social life. These are essentials, guys, as you determine where I want to live, what specific neighborhoods I want to live. According to the cost of living, can I afford to live there? What types of weather am I going to experience? What types of social life? What types of features within the social life does this neighborhood or city or town have that is conducive to my needs? As I planned my relocation, guys, I was thinking about state laws as it related to my car, as it related to my driver's license. So I went to www.dmv.org/relocation. It was a great help, guys. I was able to click my state where I was relocating to, and it gave me all the information that I needed in order to transfer my license plates, my registration, any other insurance information, any other fees that could come up throughout the year. So I was able to learn a great deal of information that helped me successfully relocate as far as my driving privileges in a new state. Understand the cost of living is very important as it varies from state to state. You want to make sure that you are understanding, okay, I'm coming from this place, I'm moving to this place. How will my cost of living change? If I'm moving from Utah to Washington, D.C., it's a possibility that my cost of living will be, different. It will vary. Salary.com, money.cnn.org Com will allow users to compare your current salary to the cost of living as well as your new salary to the cost of living. It's going to break down and give you your utility costs, your average utility costs, average housing, average transportation, and healthcare, just to name a few. It's going to tell you how much, as far as percentage, that will increase. So then you'll know, okay, within my cost of living, what can I afford on my new salary? Great tip. Next, neighborhoodscout.com is a great website that produces crime reports. What they do is they get crime reports from the FBI. The FBI sends them these crime reports on neighborhoods, property crime, violent crime, and crime per square mile. This is great, guys, because it allows you to determine what area of the city or town do you want to live in. Is it safe for you? Is it safe for your family? It can also help you determine if you want to get an alarm system right away. Is that something that should be placed on your priority list based on the safety features within your town or your city? So you want to make sure that you check out this website, guys, because it can really give you a lot of information as it relates to safety. That's very, very important for you and your family. You may also find it helpful to use some of these other features as far as entertainment. You want to think about, okay, after I've done all my packing, after I've, unloaded the truck and all that great stuff, I want to wind down. Do I want to move into an area where there's nice restaurants, entertainment's close to me, bars, lounges, clubs, theater, concerts, whatever floats your boat? But you want to make sure that if this is something that makes you happy, Mashable.com/apps-night-out provides you with a list of apps that are going to outline and tell you what features are in your area to help you make a selection choice on what neighborhoods you want to live. So that's key. I thought that was a great website. Next, history.weather, D as in dog, B as in boy, .com. This is great because it gives you history about the weather in your new place. Let's say if you're moving to North Carolina, it's going to give you the trends within the weather. What type of weather did North Carolina have in last year? How will it predict the weather that it's going to have this year? It allows you to prepare for any ways that you have to adapt to new weather changes in your new place. AccuWeather is an app. It's an app where you can begin to monitor the weather early. Let's say if you're not moving for 6 weeks. I like to monitor my weather so that I can know, okay, what type of trends within the weather are occurring so that I know when I get there, how can I be properly prepared for that? You'll be surprised, guys. It sounds like something really small, but it can be really, really large, especially when you get rain for maybe 20 days. So you want to make sure that you know about what's going on in your new relocation destination as far as weather is concerned and entertainment. Step 2, your budget. According to movingtips.com, we're relocating. Our only option is to manage your available financial resources as prudently as possible and to take advantage of some of the effective cost-saving techniques. That's really important. Creating a budget is a huge cost-saving technique because what it allows you to do is you're listing your priorities. You're not listing things that are not within your priorities. Things that you know that you need, you're going to list within that. I have some great tips. Use Excel. Excel spreadsheets have been around for years. Use that in creating a budget for yourself. Look at your items. Look at how much you would spend for each item. You're going to research how much will my moving truck cost? How much will my packing supplies cost? All that good stuff that should be listed within your budget next to the itemized cost. You also want to make sure that you're using apps. If you're an app person, maybe you're not, so you can stick to your Excel. But if you are an app person and you like to do things on the go, perhaps you're on the train and you're just killing time, you can go through your budget, make your phone calls, and start eliminating different features from your budget within your phone on your app as you're accomplishing them. Both techniques allow you to do the process of elimination to keep you organized. My free helpful apps are Move Advisor, Move Tools, and My Move. Great apps, free, and they allow you to really, really create a successful budget that will just keep you organized and on task and stress-free. Compose a list of how much you will need for each phase of your move. You're going to think about the cost for each. As I said, research, research, research is important. You're going to research your moving services, your packing, your relocation fees, incidentals. Think about gas guides for your transportation, tickets for airfare, insurance fees. Think about some of the fees for your packing materials. You don't think about a dolly or moving traps or moving straps or protective materials, but these are great things that you need in order to keep your things in safe, keep them safe while they're on the truck or however they're getting there during your relocation process. You also want to consider your pets, guys. When I moved to my new state, I relocated by air. And so I had to make sure that I had my pet with me. Well, I had to make sure that I also knew how much it cost for him to fly. That was $150. I had to place that within my budget. Well, suppose I didn't think about that. Who knows what had happened to my puppy? So you want to make sure that you incorporate the cost of also relocating your pets within your budget. Tip 4, you want to create a post-location list of expenses that should be itemized. Think about your first month's rent, your security deposits, your mortgage fees, insurance fees, taxes, your reconnection fees of your utilities. You're also going to think about any new furniture that you may have to get, appliances, your cleaning supplies, groceries that last you for at least a time period till you get your first paycheck. So you want to make sure that you incorporate your groceries in that list too, because that is a priority. It's nothing like being happy in your home, but unhappy because you're hungry. So you want to make sure that you have your food. Consider the cost of your emergency expenses, guys. We never think about emergencies, but they do come up. Try to create a separate budget aside, or even within your budget for for emergency expenses, things that could possibly come up that you don't always prepare for, you don't always think about. You may not think about them, but you'll be prepared for them. So create a small little pot that will allow you to address those emergency issues if they should occur. Step 3, you're going to eliminate your excessive items that you do not need. For example, if you have furniture, nice furniture, the arm on the chair is not falling off or your bed's not on the floor, think about, do I need new furniture? I know we all want to be fabulous when we first move into our home. We're excited about the process, but do you need new furniture at that time? In some cases, some people may need that, and if that's the case, they should incorporate that into their budget. But others do not need that. So what you can do is create a separate plan that is for a later date. Decide, okay, I moved into my house in January. In March, I want to get a new coffee table. Put new coffee table on that list of that new plan, and then put the date aside where you know on this date I'm going to get the new coffee table. That way there's a whole separate budget for future tasks that you want to complete. Create a timeline and a checklist. This is hugely important. According to moving.com, because moving can be so stressful, it is important to create a timeline with a checklist so that you can reduce stress, but also so that you can advance within your process by eliminating tasks as they are completed. One thing that we're going to talk about, guys, is as you complete your tasks, it'll make you feel really successful as you see yourself completing them and you scratch them off your list. First things first, on your timeline, look at your timeline. You should have months, dates, weeks, and days. And these represent your deadlines of which your tasks are completed. For example, if you have to register your kids for school, you want to make sure that you list on your timeline the deadline that you have to get your kids registered for school. Having a visual deadline allows you to know, okay, this is something that I can't procrastinate on. There's a deadline here, and it makes you just more likely to complete that task. So you want to make sure that with every task, especially if it's on your priority list, make sure you create a deadline next to it. Manage your time appropriately. Stick to your deadlines. No procrastination. All it's going to do is have you stressed out, and that's the whole purpose of this webinar, to eliminate stress. Monitor your progress daily. At the beginning of each day, look at your timeline. Look at what you have to complete. The tasks that you have to complete for that day, make sure you complete them. And if you have enough time left after you complete the task within that day, get ahead of the game, guys. Complete the task, some of the tasks at least, for the next day. It will help you feel great and feel as if you're making great progress. And most importantly, it will relieve stress. Finding a new home. According to Trulia.com, people should look for a home where they can grow as their lifestyle changes. This is true. When I looked for a home, I was relocating out of state. I wanted to find a place where I knew I could be there for a few years. I didn't want to find a place where I'm going to be there 6 months and I say, oh, I want to leave because I don't like it. So make sure you really, really research your home, as it will cost you more money down the line if you decide to make this whole new relocation, even if it's within the same city and town, within a 6 month to a year's period. It's wasting a lot of money when you could hit it on a nail right now by doing your research efficiently and making good choices. Decide on where to live. You've done your research on cost of living. You've done your research on entertainment and social life and safety in your neighborhood. Allow those tips to help you find a place to live. Know the type of amenities that you want in your area. Do you want malls and grocery stores and other conveniences? Now, know, of course, I can say this from experience, the more amenities that you have in your area, sometimes the higher the cost of living will be, because you don't have to go so far for those amenities. So you want to consider, is this worth me spending a little more for my monthly rent or whatever my living expenses as far as my housing may occur because of these amenities? Or should I move somewhere that's further and I don't mind spending it in transportation costs, such as gas or taking the bus or the train? So you want to think about which ones kind of work for you. Transportation more efficient, or having the amenities near you. Whichever works for you, make sure you make it work for you, but think about it before you make the decision. Decide on what type of home you want. It's an apartment, a condo, and a townhome. Are you buying your home? You want to think about, what type of home do I want to live? Budget your costs budget within your cost of living efficiently. So when you're making these choices, think about the utilities, think about the repairs, especially when you're buying a home, because there's no one that's going to repair those repairs when you're buying a home except you. So you want to make sure, can I afford these repairs right now, or should I wait on buying a home within a couple years? But nonetheless, you want to think about your utilities. If it's a larger home and you're in a place where it's very, very warm, of course, your central air, you're going to use it. It's going to have your electric bill a little more expensive. So think about these things ahead of time. That tip I gave you earlier, calling an electric company, asking them, what is the average cost of 1234 Johnson Street? And that way, that will help you make a decision on whether this is the right home for you. Also, write down some important features that you want in your new home. A second bathroom is hugely important to me. I have to have a master bathroom. But for some people, it could be a dishwasher, it could be laundry facilities. Look at the type of amenities that you want. Look for homes that feature these. Create a list of 7 to 10 amenities and then identify the 3 must-haves. So if you have 7 to 10 amenities, look at the 3 must-haves that you really, really want. If you satisfy those 3 must-haves, let's say if you still have a little more in your budget for a home that we set aside for, you can go and maybe splurge and get 2 more. Or you can use that money that's left over within your budget for your new home and splurge in another area. So think about what is a must-have for you and try to meet those needs. I mean, it is your home, you're going to live there, but make sure you think about must-haves and not just luxuries. After those are met within your budget, you can add some others, like I said, if the price is right. Websites for purchasing a home, you want to think about Trulia.com, apartmentguide.com, purchasing a home or renting, Trulia.com, apartment.com, rent.com, Zillow.com, newhomeguide.com, home finder, and realtor. Guys, I thought these websites were really good because they also had apps that were connected with them. And I thought it's also good with all of us having smartphones and mobile devices that we can use these while we're on the go. So as you're in a neighborhood searching, you can go on realtor.com. And let's say if you went to see one home and that didn't meet your fancy, or maybe it did, but you want to see another one, using these apps allows you to maintain that process on the go, which makes life a lot more easier. And most importantly, it eliminates stress. And lastly, when relocating, you want to make sure that you find new schools for your children. Guys, I have always lived by this website. Not lived by it, but I've always gone to this website. Greatschools.net is great for assisting you with learning important information about finding schools for your kids. As a former teacher, this is very important to me. So I'm able to go in there, I'm able to look at school culture, I'm able to look at school climate, I'm able to look at the test scores, current test scores for the school as well as the school district. I'm also able to review parent reviews. And as I said, even information about the school district in general. They have information on charter schools, parochial schools, private schools, and public schools. This is essential. What it does is it also breaks it down according to rating. So it lets you know if the school is a really, really good school, it's going to score between 8 to 10. So from 1 to 10 scale, it'll score between 8 to 10. If a school's not so good, it's going to be 7 on down to 1. You want to make sure, just teacher recommendation, try to stay within the 8 to 10 range if you can, if possible. All schools have some great qualities about them, but as I said, between 8 to 10, you're usually in really, really good schools. There still can be some issues, but most of the time, they're decent schools. Still with some issues, but they're decent schools. So make sure that you're taking a look at greatschools.net and making decisions for your kids. And guys, get on that stuff early. As soon as you find out that you've accepted the job offer, start looking at schools. Start knowing what the registration process is so that you can get that ball rolling. You don't want to procrastinate in that area. You talk about stress, that's a lot of stress. Thank you guys for joining me in my webinar this evening. It's been great. I just thank you so much for it. I hope that you were able to learn a lot about the relocation process, guys. As I said, I know it can be stressful. All of us out there in virtual land who have accomplished these tasks know they can be stressful, but I hope that these tips will help you in understanding that it doesn't have to be. I can be contacted at KimberlyBirdPR@gmail.com. Feel free to share your tips about your experiences. Maybe there were some tips that I didn't share that you have, that you've used, and they've been successful for you. We can create a whole online community about relocation. We can help millions of people, billions of people. So contact me by my email and also by my website, www.kimberlybird.com, and we can chat it up, exchange information. I thank you so much for joining me. Have a great night.